This is Kal Kat, the Kal Katster. I just watched on Disney Plus Luca, the Rosa movie. It's a Disney Pixar movie. Yeah, there's it's about this kid sea monster and his sea monster friend who troublemaker, and they go to this Italian island and meet this girl, but and they're gonna like win a race to get a Vespa, which is a scooter. And there's an evil bully dude who's way too old to be doing the race, and he's like 16, and they're all like maybe 11 or 12, I guess, in it. I don't know, somewhere around there. And he's too old, but they're letting him do it anyway. And Luca's sea monster parents go and try to rescue him, and they all have the ability to come up to the surface and become human when they come up to the surface. So they dry off. Yeah. When water gets splashed on them or spat on them or something, parts of them do become sea monster again. It's inconsistent because at times they're sweaty or damp or whatnot. So they would also be turning into sea monsters. If they ate anything, it would do the same thing. But it's a cartoon. Anyway, so magic with I'm not sure how long this one was on the back burner. Maybe since 2015, and the pitch from Disney, Mark's Cars and Kal Kat went to Disney, and well, it should have an episode, a Disney movie where a prince is looking for his prince. This is kind of that idea, but they took out all of that and just made it. No, they took that out, so it's just like a coming of age, not even a coming of age story. They're calling it that, but it isn't really, because they haven't. At the end of the story, they're still like 11. They didn't come of age. It's in a sense, it's like Inside Out, where it didn't end with anybody coming of age. They were simply what they were at the end of the story. They learned something throughout the story, and there's a point to it. There's no sad part in it or anything. And apparently there was, over the past week, there was some controversy on the internet about people that didn't understand the movie, thinking it was the other version of the story. One of the prince finding his prince. Oh no, it's a gay story. There's a gay character in it. Is secretly, and then it's not. It's a message because it was released in June. Because it's Pride Month. No, none of those things are the case. It would appear that this movie was probably in the planning stages as far back as 5 years ago or so. And it's a coincidence that there is a similar movie that they were working on that's this one. And they didn't do the Kal Kat and Mark's Cars one yet. Hold on! They didn't do the thing yet. So they haven't done it yet. So, as I say it's not, there's nothing in the gay, there's no gay agenda in this movie at all. They completely sanitized it. It's complete. There's not even a coding in this. The Council of Geeks guy tried to look for coding. He couldn't find it. He should know. So if there was, they took it out. This is just reminiscent of. It reminded me of like Tom Sawyer and Huckleberry Finn, basically, and that's definitely not coded for anything. Tom Sawyer and Huckleberry Finn, a little bit of that, a little bit of the Little Mermaid, in the sense that they're mermaids. They're basically mermaids. They came up there. It's basically what they are. Crossed with the Swamp Thing kind of idea. I guess salt water and fresh water also does it, so when rain hits them, it does it. At the end of the movie, they end up going, the boy ends up, they end up winning the race and defeating the bully. And then, spoilers. And then, they get the Vespa, which is a junky Vespa, but then they give it up so that so that the younger boy can go on a trip to school with the girl. So if it had any coding at all, it would be the kid that could have been coded goes off with the straight girl to go to school. That's not coded. No, and he doesn't end up with him. No, that's the opposite of that. No, there's no. Yeah. Yeah. So people are reading too much into this movie. It's not a bad movie. Certainly, it's 3.5 stars. 70%, 75%, something like that. It's not their best story. It's not heartrending or anything. But yeah, there's no controversy, no message in it. It appears to have been taken out if there was any, because they're pubescent. They don't have feelings for each other. They're just friends. It's puppy love basically. So they're friends. So it's like So it's like no. If somebody's reading into that, there's something odd. It's probably the hyper conservatives that are reading stuff in it, not the other group. It's probably they're all no. It's people can't have nice things. Even though the friend is kind of a troublemaker, they would be at that age. So there's nothing. They're 11 or 12. There's no. It's before. Even the director so far came out and said it's not about that. People asked him, so is it a gay movie? He's like, no, it's not about that. There was nothing in there like that. It would be if it was set like 2 years later, and they were actually pubescent. Then it would be, but it's not. So it wouldn't. Yeah. It's like when people made parody stories out of Inside Out, and they're like, there was a spoof of Inside Out where she says, I'm going to have a baby and all that. That was a joke. And the hyperconservatives ran with this like joke that was like cracked or something. And they're like, no, the girl's sex. No, she didn't. That was a joke. And it was supposed to be set like 4 years later when she was like 16. That was the joke. It was like, no, that didn't happen. So anyway, there's nothing wrong with the movie. It's fine. Go watch it on Disney Plus. Watch this version on Disney Plus. I'm sure it'll be out on DVD before too long. It's nothing wrong with it. It's fine. It's safe. So, and it's partly Italian. So, although a lot of the Italian words they use in it sound like Pig Latin Italian, like kind of made up Latin Italian, which is fine. You can kind of tell there are some Latin words in there, but they kind of fudged it a little. But for the benefit of a movie, if they started speaking fluent Italiano, they would not understand it at all. Be completely, and I don't speak fluently. I learn a few words. Anyway, so 1/4, so Italian. I like the pasta. Anyway, So that's my review. Ciao.